This is Duke's Baseball Cards and Curiosities coming at you from the Curiosity Cave. Um, my name is Scott. Um, I'm going to go over some cards that I picked up over the weekend. At First, I went to a show, then I went to an antique mall, and then I went to a flea market. It was a pretty awesome weekend. Just a plethora of items coming my way. Um, I'm going to go through the pickups pretty fast because there's quite a few of them, and I'd like to spend a little more time on them, but let's get going. And first, I went to a baseball card show. It's all sports cards, 150 tables. Maybe 6 tables were vintage, and then there was a mixture of vintage amongst the newer cards. And I did see one Pokemon table snuck in there for the show, but I found one card, and I thought that was a pretty good deal. 1939 play ball, Archivon. It was, a nice little $20 purchase. So on my way home, I thought, let's stop at this antique mall on the way. And when I got there, my favorite dealer was there, Big White Dog Antiques. And when he's there, I can usually sit and talk to him, visit, and go through all his stuff and see if he has any better prices. Um, it's a great booth. It's a U-shaped booth with stand-up cases and then records and comics kind of in the middle. Just a great guy to visit with while I'm looking through cards and memorabilia. So let's go through the cards first. We'll start with 71 Topps Football. Picked up a good amount of them. Sonny Jurgensen, Buck Buchanan. And these were in his 3 for $1 box. Chuck Howley. Nice Packer card of Willie Wood. All-Star. Mad Bomber, Daryl LaMonica. Charlie Taylor, great receiver. Another great receiver, Don Maynard. And one of the guys between Fran Tarkenton, other than Joe Cap, Gary Quazzo, Minnesota Vikings quarterback. And this was in the 3 for $1 box. I figured, heck, 58 All-Star card, even though it's off center, it's still a great deal. Picked up a few ticket stubs. I did get the program with this stub. 1941 Washington State versus Southern Cal. And another thing about this antique dealer, he does watch my videos, so it was pretty cool talking to him about that. Here's a 1949 Minnesota versus Purdue stub. He had a little group of stubs together for the University of Minnesota, so I picked up the whole group. Here's Southern Cal versus Minnesota. And that's 1955. 1955 Wisconsin, Minnesota. Paul Bunyan axe at stake for that series. Here's 1953 Minnesota, Michigan State. And the next group is pretty cool. It's all boxers, mostly postcards, but there's a couple other items in there too. I just love those old black and white postcards from the 19 teens and 20s, maybe even into the 30s. And there's even one awesome one I'll show you after I go through all the postcards. Here's George. It's from Fred to George Temple. George Temple was a local boxer in the Twin Cities. I've got a postcard of his brother coming up. And all of these came from Clancy's gym in St. Paul that closed in 2002, I believe. And they all have the sticker for that gym, famous gym in this area. Here's a no name, a boxer with no name on it. This guy has a name. And these are all postcards. Unknown boxer. And a lot of them will have like the studio name embossed in the postcard. This one is Kohler from Milwaukee. There's no name with the card. Let's see if we can see. Yeah, right in the bottom there it says Kohler. This isn't a postcard, it's just the photo. Just some great poses. Just trying to imagine these guys back in their day, what they were like. This one is, I don't know if you can see the embossed. Yeah, a little bit. And that says, has a studio name. I can't really read it. Need a magnifying glass. Here's a Kohler studio this one has a little bit of damage, but you can see the Kohler embossed there. Milwaukee. Pal Brown. That has an inset photo also. Here's another one, Billy, and I can't really make out his last name yet. I think it's the same photo as the other one from before. Jack Seffert, it looks like. Here's Ray Temple, George Temple's brother. Some of these guys you can look up on Boxing Rec, like this gentleman here, Jimmy Cashel. And that's just a photo, it's not a postcard. Another postcard. Can't make out the first name, last name's Clifford. Jack Clifford, says on the back. And here's another guy that's pretty cool. This looks like it might have been a larger card, Barney Richter. And it shows his fight record on the back, 1911 through 1913. And this doesn't have the Clancy Studio sticker on the back. Here's one that's pretty cool. It's a tintype, boxing tintype. They're pretty cool. It's got their names on the back. Weir and Newton. Next item, this is a Wisconsin-Minnesota football dinner. Invitation, it looks like. $1. So that's pretty old. Here it looks like a 1960s Yankee Stadium from the right field grandstand. Well, it says right field grandstand. Looks more like left field. So that does it for that. If you ever get a chance, go to Antiques, Minnesota, check out the that booth for Big White Dog Antiques. Lots of very interesting items in there. Highly recommended. So, the next day, there's a flea market south of here. It's kind of the what I call the O-Pee-Chee honey hole. The guy has a lot of O-Pee-Chee cards, especially 1970, 71, 72. First group of O-Pee-Chee we'll go through. Got a nice fat stack of O-Pee-Chee from him again. These are all 1971s. Hall of Famers. Some of them are Hall of Famers. Phil Necro. Jim Catfish Hunter. And these have the nice yellow background. Willie McCovey. Bill Mazeroski. Hero of the 60 World Series. Al Downing traded to the Dodgers, where he would serve up Hank Aaron with home run 714. Then I got a couple of these Jim Palmer playoff cards, and they don't have any pictures on the back. Red Shadings, manager of the Cardinals at the time. The manager cards do have the pictures on the back. Shortstop, Bobby Grich rookie. Couple Hoyt Wilhelms here. See where it says traded to the Braves. Another Hoyt Wilhelm. Manager Earl Weaver of the 1970 World Champion Orioles. Maybe a future Hall of Famer, Tommy John. And a few Minnesota Twins. Jim Perry, Gaylord's brother. Leo Cardenas, also known as Chico. And I did get a couple of him. Ron Peranowski. George Mitterwald. And Altiante. Louis Tiant. The last group of cards I got at the flea market, I got a send-in glossy of Kirby Puckett from 1987. And I got some Tiffany cards from 89 of Kirby. All-Star. Tiffany. Another All-Star Tiffany. He had great prices. I mean, I could not get them, so I got them. 87 Kirby Tiffany. Another 87 Kirby Tiffany. And throw a wrench into the deal, Ozzie Smith Tiffany. So that was my excitement over the weekend. I had a great time going through cards, looking at tables. It's kind of surprising. I found more cards at the antique shop and the flea market than I did at the card show. Of course, got better deals at the flea market and the antique shop than I did at the card show, where most of the cards are graded, and most dealers are at 15% discounts. When I talk to people, if I'm set up at a show, I'll give people more than 10-15%, maybe even 50%, maybe it's 60%, who knows. Depends on how long I've known you and deals that I've gotten from you in the past. So I had a great time. Thanks everybody for watching, and go Tigers. Thank you.